Hi, today we're going to continue with notices to vacate and when to use which one. Please let me know in a comment below if there's any topics you would like me to cover in the future. In the previous video, I wrote about Tenant Protection Act AB 1482, where we compared an at-fault and no-fault termination of tenancy. The at-fault termination of tenancy is where you use the 3-day notice to quit or vacate. A notice of termination of tenancy is used for a no-fault termination, where you choose either a 30, 60, or 90-day notice to vacate, depending on the circumstances. This will vary if your property is subject to AB 1482 or not. Please review the previous video on AB 1482 to find out if you are exempt. Please remember, I am not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. It is always recommended to consult a lawyer to ensure you comply with federal, state, and local laws, ordinances, and regulations. A 30-day notice is used if tenants have occupied that property for less than 12 months, or at least one tenant has been there for less than a year, and none of the other tenants have occupied the property for more than 2 years. Another time to use a 30-day notice is if your property is subject to the CARES Act and you are serving for non-payment. This was covered in the last video. If your property is subject to AB 1482, a 60-day notice is required, and you must state the just cause. Examples of just cause for notice of termination of tenancy are you or a direct family member are moving in, and the just cause reason has been included in the lease. Now, since these have to be pre-agreed, you may want to include a clause in your lease that includes this. The second is owner intends to withdraw the property from the rental market, or the property is being demolished or substantially remodeled that would require someone to vacate. The last is a government or court order regarding the habitability of the property, and they have ordered that it be vacant. Now, AB 1482 also entitles that the tenant needs to be given relocation assistance in the amount equal to 1 month's rent. The owner may choose to compensate the tenant by waiving the final month of rent for tenancy, or by providing direct payment to the tenant within 15 days of providing this notice. However, no payment is required if the court or government agency has declared the property non-habitable and has determined that it's the tenant's cause for the reason of notice. Now, if your property is exempt from AB 1482, you may terminate tenancy with a 30-day notice if the following apply. You have entered into contract to sell the property to a live person, not a business, and the purchaser intends to reside in the property for at least a year. Escrow has opened within the last 120 days prior to the notice being served, and the property is a single-family unit or condominium, and the tenant has not previously given notice to termination of tenancy. All of these conditions must apply in order to be able to serve a 30-day notice. The normal no-fault notice of termination of tenancy, if you are exempt from AB 1482, will be the 60-day notice. Now, if you are exempt, you do not have to show just cause. In an instant where your tenant is a beneficiary of a government agency rental assistance program, then you must give your tenant a 90-day notice for termination of tenancy. Now, this is the only place that this is required. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and comment below.